Alrighty. Let's see here. It is cold all of a sudden here. We had, I mean, it didn't stick to anything, but we had snow yesterday afternoon. Like snow flurries. I had to drive them on my way home from work. Snow in November is rather unusual for us. What? The camera is like bouncing in and out of focus. Alright, so... Not that. Yes. There we go. So pretty much picking up where I left off on the model. I haven't really touched this. Done anything with this since ending that stream. Had to work on some other stuff since then. One of the things I've been doing is... There is a gnat. I have made the decision that I need to migrate from Unreal Engine 4 to 5 because of, not because of any particular features, but just sort of because of support. It's less of an issue for Windows, it's more of just an inconvenience. Unreal Engine 4 requires, basically has a maximum freaking gnat. Let me get a napkin that I can... I don't think I got him. No, he flew away. Has like a maximum version that it can compile under. And it's more of just a headache because anytime Visual Studio updates, it has a tendency to replace or put in new stuff that like takes precedent. That's something I can fix and have been fixing, but it's annoying. But the larger issue is I'm hoping to be able to support Mac as a platform, and they have a similar issue. UE4 only compiles up to a certain SDK version, but the larger issue is that Apple not only deprecates those SDKs over time, but eventually it gets to a point you can't install them on like on newer versions. So like as my own MacBook updates, I get, and therefore it gets new versions of Xcode, I then can't put the older SDKs on it. And I think as of right now, 4.27 is still supported, or has one that is supported. But it poses a problem because by the time I finish the game, I suspect it wouldn't be. So, needed to move to 5. Which is proving to be a bit of a task. I finally got the errors below 99 plus. So that's good. Because there's a bunch of plugins that I rely on. Some of them are just quality of life things that I could get rid of, but would prefer not to. And they are plugins that were never maintained. They were not updated to go to 5, or were not updated to go as far into 5, as many like sub versions. So like they're not supported on the one I'm trying to go to, so I have to do the upgrade myself. Some of them, just because of features that are now gone in the most current versions of Unreal 5, may not even work at all, and I'll have to get rid of them. But for like the past 3 days, it has just been saying 99 plus errors. So it's finally below 99. I can see how many there are. So that's progress. So probably 91 plus errors. Assuming this number doesn't go back up as I fix some of these others, I assume that I could probably have that building and letting me back into the editor by tomorrow, end of day tomorrow. But that is assuming that I don't compile all the plugins and then it still refused to open, or worse, I compile all the plugins and it opens but has drastically broken some of my blueprints because of features I had to change in those plugins. Again, most of those plugins were quality of life things that were more about how you do things in the editor, so they shouldn't be a problem. But if I get rid of them, but I do have that freaking gnat. They get in from outside and they make their way back here. I think because I have a window AC unit in here, and then they love this microphone for some reason. So, yeah, we're going to work on the model, and then maybe a little bit later, depending on who all's here at that point, because if it's all people that have already heard it, I don't want to do it. I have the theme, the menu theme that was made by Starby that I can play for the game. Especially if we've got some people who haven't heard it yet. It's not like finished, but for a first draft, it was very solid. I had thought, and very much fit the kind of mood that I was going for. So Starby has knocked it out of the park. All right, so I want... Let me do this. Something just went crash in the other room. Give me a moment. Okay, we're good. An animal knocked something. One of our animals knocked something over. Just had to check on it. It wasn't anything major. All right, so I'm just looking for one of those topology examples that I was using before. Just to make sure I'm referencing my topology correctly. Okay. So from here, oh, we're in an ad break. We'll let the ad break run. About 30 seconds left on the ad break, looks like. All right, I think we'll be back from ads in like 2 or 3 seconds, looks like. All right, I think we are back. Yeah, looks like we're back. Okay, so with this in mind, we need to get our edge loops started. And so generally, what we would expect is, let's see, we'd do usually like a loop around the hip here, but then that's going to come down and come through here. And then go between the legs, up and around, forms sort of a section around the butt and comes back up and usually connects into one of our back loops, probably one of these, most likely. We might end up adding in an edge loop for that runs further up the back. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and bring this guy down in here. Don't want to change it drastically, just a little bit. Honestly, that's too much. I'll just do it this way then. Can I get it to... Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. And merge at center. And so what we would want to do is bring probably, I would say, I'm thinking, because I don't know that we actually are quite to where we want to be just yet, to bring that in might be a little premature. So let's do this. And let's bring yeah, this is... Because he's slightly out of shape, and that's kind of the idea that we're trying to build here. He's a heavy drinker, and he's been out of action for a while, so he is not in his best condition. Let's see here. Spring. I think it's this one. I don't remember. I don't remember which one I just played. That was the correct one? Alright. Viewfinder, isn't that the one where you're looking through a camera? And like you take perspective pictures and you can shift them around to solve puzzles? How am I feeling? I'm feeling alright. It's... I get like an annual crud. When the temperature starts to shift, and it's always like in the chest. The thing about it is like it doesn't, I don't feel bad generally. It's more of a, I just have a cough and like congestion, and it makes, I mean, I'm unhappy and not in a good mood because of that. It'll make my throat sore, that kind of thing. But it doesn't generally make me like super lethargic or that kind of stuff. But, and honestly, I don't know if it's some kind of cold that I get or if it's, or what it is. 'Cause like I get my flu shot and that kind of stuff. So, and generally when I get, if I go and have them try to test me for it, they're like, oh, we don't know what it is. So it's just something I get pretty much every year. At least once. And aside from giving me a cough for several weeks, it doesn't tend to do much. But the downside of a cough is that things like talking tend to stir it up. So it does make it less pleasant to stream, I guess you would say. Just because just because of that irritation. Yeah. And also, like, I generally assume that nobody wants to sit here and listen to me hack up a lung. So all right, I think we can start to move this edge loop down. I'd like to do maybe off of this guy, but then this may end up not looking right, so we're just kind of playing with it at the moment. I've actually, one of the things I've never done is specifically model like a character that's slightly out of shape. So trying to kind of figure out what that should look like on the 3D model is its own task in a way. You said you were stuck on stuck on that game already? You've already had a puzzle you can't solve? Let's see if I can get this in a way that works for me here. These feel like they need to curve in more already. Hope the coughing goes away soon. I do too. But that kind of thing usually likes to hang out for a bit, so I'm not getting my hopes up. The game makes me think of, there was another game that kind of did a similar thing, but a different game that I can actually think of the name of that it makes me think of is a game called Subliminal, where you didn't like take pictures, but you could interact with an object, and depending on the perspective that you picked it up with, it would let you solve puzzles. It was let's see. No, this isn't the right one. Was that not the name of the game? This isn't the right one. Because it wasn't a horror game. What was it? What was it called? Hang on. Don't fail me now. Superliminal. That's what it was called. This one. So, like, you would grab something, and then if you walked closer to it, it would get smaller. And you walk away with it, it would get bigger. And then it could be used to solve puzzles. It's from like 5 years ago. So here's your something, Amber. Play this one. Yeah, Superliminal was what it was called. I kept wanting to call it Subliminal, but that's some kind of horror game that's not out yet, I don't think. Yeah. It's called Superliminal. You're stuck on that game already? You and puzzles don't seem to get along terribly well. how did I go with Blueprints? So I ended up not playing it on stream again, but part of that was because it became a competition between my wife and I. Not because I wanted it to be a competition, but because everything becomes a competition with her. She was playing it as well, and it was basically a like who was gonna get there first kind of thing. And did end up like solving the, I'm not gonna say the whole thing, because like there were definitely like other levels of mystery to that game. Like there were definitely things I didn't ultimately solve. But I think all in all, we had kind of exhausted what we could probably do in that game. By the time all was said and done. Like I had found the last room of the estate, which isn't like the end. Technically, like you get credits, but that's like not the end. There's a lot more to it after that. So, and just if I had been doing it on stream, it wasn't really gonna work as like a competition. The way she was treating it as a competition, because we were like playing it like every night, basically, more or less. So, if I was being forced to wait between streams, I could not win. So. Let's see. Something isn't feeling right about this. Yeah, I'm gonna rewind that because that's... Alright, I think the easier option then is going to be to try to just work on the leg. We're gonna say that it does that. And probably bring it into about here. Rotate it. And alright. And then let's say boop, boop. Yeah, they're not quite in line with this, which is what I was kind of going for. And then probably something like that. I don't know, maybe like that number. Bring it out a bit. And let's see. Um what to bring. Okay, so let's bring. Something like that. And then I don't know if it's happening for stream, but the music is getting all staticky on my end. So I'm going to do something real quick. And reset my audio drivers. Let's see. Where the heck my mouse go? Hello, mouse? I have lost my mouse. Where did it go? Mouse? Oh, I saw it. There it is. No, over here. I'm gonna restart that. Okay, that sounds better. Oh, it was over on my tablet. That's why I couldn't find it. Hey, Fruitsy. Nice to see you. How are you doing? You've caught me modeling a butt. Or trying to. Part of a butt. Which, honestly, human anatomy's always been a problem. Let's kind of bring that up. That should give us a decent edge loop to follow. Which we then want to bring in like that. Appropriate emote. Well, so I'm modeling specifically. Let me just pull it up from Blue Sky. I'm specifically modeling. Geez. This. So we're modeling off this concept art that I had done recently. So nice turntable. Yep. So it's artist. She's an artist on Vegan called I've never had to say it out loud. Aquaria, I believe, is how it's pronounced. She's tagged on the posts. But very cool comic style that I'm not certain I'll be able to replicate in 3D, but it would be kind of cool if I could. I'm sure it can be done. I'm not sure if I can do it. Let's bring this up. And then let's should probably decide where we want to reconnect this at. Oh, you know what? I brought this over too soon, I think. Because based on our loops on the back, I would probably connect it here. Well, nope. Oh, wait. I'm not an edge selection. Here is most likely where we're going to reconnect it. Oh, thank you, Amber. I actually would have thought that would have happened on its own. Because... oh, maybe I didn't put Fruity as a VIP. Amber, you should check out a Fruity stream sometime if you get the chance. They have... it's basically a game that you can interact with on stream. You get a little, like, slime character. You can... they periodically they have mini games and stuff, like races and stuff, where you type in chat to get your slime to do things. It's all done in Unreal. We've done a raid or two out to them before when our streams overlap, but I don't know if you've been in one before, because you would probably remember if you had. Yeah, I think that'll be... we still have to bring these in. You usually get kicked from raids from your phone. Oh, yeah, that would track then, because a lot of times during my streams you're at work, so you're on your phone. And you love doing redeems to mess with me, but Fruitsy's redeems can actually affect their VTuber. You can like take their hat, take their glasses, or no, not the hat. I don't think you can take the hat off. You can change the hat, take the glasses. You can make them into like a little like retro PS1 graphics. It's very clever, very fun. Okay. I think this is ultimately not gonna look right. I don't think. Not happy with it, but and no, that wasn't an intentional pun. Oh, we are on an ad break. I'm gonna drink some water. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that seems about right. And then got about 30 or 40 seconds on the ad break. About 30 seconds. I've realized it sort of looks like I'm modeling a harness for his ass. It's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to create an edge loop to like outline it, but it does sort of look like an ass harness. It's not intentional, but that is kind of where it's currently sitting. Okay, we're just gonna merge these. All right, and welcome back from ads, by the way, those of you that had them. Let's see. I want to do this. Think so. The current song that's playing, current song's got about 30 seconds left on it. When this song's over, I'm going to play the music that Starby made for the game, and We might let it loop for a little bit. Because it's supposed to be somewhat loopable. It's a menu theme. And we'll let it play for a little bit. Oop, I wasn't ready. That's not it. Alright, so the next thing you hear is going to be the title theme. Doesn't have any other name for One Man's Poison. Alright. Turn it up a little bit. Oh, I should probably switch back to the front view of this. Do I want to continue that loop? I guess from this side I do. Yeah, okay, it doesn't quite, music doesn't quite loop seamlessly yet, but it's not been finalized, so this was just a rough draft, but for a rough draft, it was really well done. She could have sent it to me and said that it was done, and I'd have been like, yeah, absolutely. And then I think what I might try to do here is Bring this down like that. Because it kind of gives me a chance to work on a loop around the leg. I'll bring this down. And actually, we're going to go back into object mode here. And we're going to place a cube. Going to keep its, we want to keep its center point. Let's pivot down there. So we're going to use edit mode to bring it up in line. And then bring it in here. And then we need, bring that here, here. Cool. And we're going to start adding some edge loops. And oh, there we go. Bring that in, bring that in. Bring those out. Yeah. And so then what I can do is here, delete out these faces. Crap. And do. Sweet. Okay. Got rid of those. And then for the ones at the bottom, do that. And then I think we can kind of shape it at that point. I don't think we should be. I'm gonna do it by edges though. Oh, yeah, Alt to connect or select that entire loop. And then we don't necessarily need it to be perfectly in line or anything, but bring that guy in. Okay, we may have to do this a little differently because I may have to treat. Oh, I accidentally grabbed one of the ones back there when I was just trying to grab this one. honestly might have been better off doing a sphere and then... Actually, no, I would have... With the way this works, I would have still had to subdivide it from a cube. You know what, though? I like that as a better starting point. Fly is back. And he's gone again. And I could do a cylinder. Just get it to size a little better. We actually don't even need it to take up that much space. We basically just need it to be a loop in and of itself. We can shrink it in that way. Shrink it in that way. And then there's going to be a modifier in here, or a setting in here for how many all right. Is there not a setting in here for how many loops there are in it, or how many faces it has? Seems a little surprising. Okay, well, that's fine. We're going to get rid of the top and bottom faces. This is more loops than I really needed. We could add in... it's probably going to be overkill. Solidify, subdivision, remesh. Is there not a simplify? There's a simplify, isn't there? Oh, that's not what we want. Because I'm assuming doing it a second time does not solve the problem. Nope. Okay. Well, if that's the case, that's not the end of the world. Let's see how we can at least size some of these up. Let's do this. Let's remove... Oh, I should have done faces. Oh, I can't. Okay, that's fine. I can do it like this. Bring it out like that a little bit. In fact, let's bring these in, and then we can probably save ourselves a little bit of trouble. Let's see. Let's just remove that and that, because then we can bring that one in. Okay, so if we take this guy and this guy and we join them, oops, nope, other way around. We want to join this guy to this guy. Yeah. Because then we can merge these verts. let's see. Can I bring this in like that? And then I don't think I can. Oh, yeah, there we go. I can fill that. Cool. And we need to reposition these a little bit. Yes, I am working on a horror game. Thank you for the follow. Today in particular, just working on a 3D model for the protagonist. But we've previously worked on like an inventory system and some other aspects of it. So right now, like all that's really been modeled so far is the torso. We're kind of working on the hips and the legs, which are a bit of a complicated part, especially. I've never been great at human anatomy for modeling, but working on that. And actually, I've got music playing right now that was made by a composer friend and one of the moderators for my channel. The hand looks pretty human. Well, I did not draw the art that I'm working off of here. It is, give me a moment. Not there. It was art that I had made. Gotta find it. So this was art that I had made of the main character. So this is what we're working with right now, trying to just build the base model that we can put outfits and stuff on. So but we have previously worked on like an inventory system. I would open it up to show it, but I'm in the middle of upgrading the engine version right now, so the project doesn't open at the moment. So it's going to be like a Resident Evil 4 style inventory system. I've still got about 90 some odd errors that I need to fix from the engine upgrade before I can get back into that stuff. So that stuff's not terribly interesting, so I'm not doing that on stream, and instead I'm doing this part. Let's see. I need to try to line these up a little bit before we start making loops. Although actually, that might be good. I can condense these. Right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, really? I would have to condense these 3. Can you dissolve edges? Yeah, that's what I want. Well, nope. I gotta keep one of them. Okay. Dissolve edges. All right. As much as I like the work Starby has done, I am done listening to the same song on loop. I can only take so much of that. Not so much of that song. I just can't do the same exact song for hours. So we'll go back over to this playlist. All right. Let's see. Can we bring this up, and then You know what? We don't want to bring it up that high before we have to join it. Oh, we have an ad break. So we're going to pause and wait on the ads. See what we got going on here. About 40 seconds left on the ad break. All right. Ad break should be over. So I'm going to go back to what we were doing. We need to join the mesh here. So let's... I've got a timer that more or less lets me keep track, like aside from the Twitch one, I've got a timer set up because my my ad overlay is completely automated. So I've got a little thing on my Stream Deck that shows me when the ad is running. But there's ever so slightly a few seconds difference sometimes between when the overlay goes away and when the ad actually ends. Sometimes there's I don't know if it's a difference in like, or a delay in between when Twitch actually starts running the ad and when my stuff detects that it's been run, or what, but ever so slightly a bit of a difference. Okay, we kind of need to bring this in more. Okay, now what should happen is we should be able to bring this up here. We'll put in some additional edge loops for it. Probably not that drastic. At the moment, that is making his ass cheeks enormous. I already have this unfortunate feeling that just based on how that drawing came out, he's going to wind up just absolutely caked out. And I will never hear the end of it. Little fan service never hurt. You know what? Let's keep that there. This is... It's fine to merge this one. I want to merge this up here because I can bring more polygons in. No. We're merging that. He's gonna end up just caked up out of his mind. I can see it. I can already see it forming. And I hate it. It's gonna be it's gonna be so ridiculous. Oh, I can sense the memes forming. Yep, I can tell. I can tell. Ugh. All right. Let's see. Actually, the current poly count might save us from him having a big ass. He might be just low poly enough that his ass ends up completely flat. might save us. How to best do this? That'll form a triangle. I don't want... But if I bring this in more... then I could do that. So then let's bring this over. And then what I could do is bring... I'm still gonna have to work on the definition of this, but I could bring this loop around. Like, do something like this. Yeah. I think if I do anything else with that, it's going to be too much. I have to add an edge loop. He's like simultaneously got a flat ass, but also it sticks out too much. Oh no. Oh no. It looks like he has ass implants. Cuz they're so squared off. Oh, I think I made it worse. All right. All right. I have to do this. Let's see. Where is it? Object. also, I'm gonna turn off the, yeah, toggle X-ray. Yeah, that's, let's see. Oh, that's on my other screen. Region, yeah. Oh, I forgot. It doesn't like when OBS is open for me to try to do that. All right, let's try with the snipping tool. Thanks for the lurk. Yeah, I know. Can you take the screenshot for me, please? There we go. That's what I wanted. I'm gonna fix it, but also it's too funny to not screenshot. And that is going in the Discord. And then also the one person that I know is going to make it into an absolute meme. Yeah, that's going directly to Starby. Okay. Now to do something about this. Because that is quite frankly too much. Let's see. I suspect that part of the issue, at least, lies here. Is it G? Nope. G and R, though, I think. That's not what you want. Oh, but that makes... No, that brings that in too much. But if we switch it to these... I don't know that I can save this. I mean, when I go to sculpt in details for normal mapping, I can probably save it. But I think until then, he's gonna be caked up. I think this is just our life for now. Nope. I think that's just how things are. And do something like that. Ah! Do something like that. Nope. Nope. Let's see. This is the hip, basically, right? Pretty much. So let's bring the hip down. And let's rotate. that. That. Definitely need some more edge loops in that, but that's fine. And let's see. Probably dissolve that loop and bring this one out. We have an ad break. think we are, yeah, we are back from ads, or we should be. Yeah, we're back from ads. I'm just doing something here real quick. Okay. Let's see. I do think I can get rid of probably, oops, probably this edge. I think I've already merged this one, but I'm gonna hit that again just to be safe. Fix the shading. Nope, can't do it like that. But if I do it kind of like this number, You know, currently, I would argue this loop isn't serving a whole lot of purpose because I can bring this one out and keep basically the same shape. Which I think, if I'm not mistaken, oh, that's too many faces, should let me do a little something like this. Mm. Mm. Haha. Oop. 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 Let's see. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Probably every other loop for now, because I don't need that many right now. Nope. Let's see. Can we dissolve some of these? What will we end up with? Oh, that's not good. No, that won't work. it doesn't create a loop there. Which is kind of weird. Oh, I guess that's because it technically goes off that way. Yeah, we don't want that. We'll end up with like a 5-sided shape over there if we do that. What about you? Can we get rid of you? No. Yeah, because we end up with a triangle here. Hmm. I mean, I guess in theory, we could take enough of these. Shrink this down. And then we could do this. Guess we have to add some edge loops back in for now. Yeah, we won't be able to just bring these down because not without creating any triangles. Okay. I think oops. Set that up so I can do a screenshot of it after the stream. I think it's about time to finish things up for the evening. Let's pay a visit to Zen is playing Resident Evil Zenith, so we're gonna go give him a raid. It's friend of the channel. And it's kind of fitting since this game is Resident Evil inspired. So I will be back on Thursday. Have a good evening, everyone.